Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Friday the 27th of the 8th, 2021. Time is 0450, 10 to 5 in the morning GMT. Asian session coming to close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American session. Right, yesterday then, Thursday the 26th, we had a negative opposed driver in the pound at minus 144. Front and back door flows mainly going into the dollar at plus 84, into the yen at plus 71. And the euro was the negative rock at minus 11, activity plus or minus 155. Intra-week then becoming most relevant, this is from Monday the 23rd, open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative opposed driver in the yen at minus 234. Front and back door flows mainly going into the pound at plus 179, into the euro at plus 153. And the dollar is the negative rock at minus 100, activity plus or minus 334. So basically over the week then we've had yen weakness driving, mainly driving opposing positive flows into the pound, into the euro, and the dollar's been getting backdoor weakness at minus 100. And yesterday, so we had yen weakness through the week. Yesterday we've got pound weakness driving, and a bit of yen strength. So the flows were shifting yesterday. Now intraday, this is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive opposed driver in the yen at plus 35. Front and back door flows mainly coming out the pound at minus 29, out the dollar at minus 9, and the euro is the positive rock at plus 3, activity plus or minus 38. So the Asian session is starting to change the dynamic as well, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So we'll stop it there and write up the flows. Right, we're back. We've written up the flows then. So the euro is strong except against the yen and the Swiss, which are stronger. The yen is strong across the board. The pound's weak except against the New Zealand, which is weaker. The Swiss is strong except against the yen. The CAD is strong except against the yen, the Swiss and the euro. The AUD is weak except against the pound and the New Zealand. The New Zealand is weak across the board, and the dollar is weak except against the pound, the AUD and the NZD. So what have we got? We've got yen strength across the board in the Asian session, and we've got New Zealand weakness, and we've got a fair bit of euro strength, except against the yen and the Swiss. So take your pick in the middle. Right, so what's going to knock it about? What has been knocking it about? Right, so let's have a look. We've had soft AUD retail sales, so that's one thing we've actually had. We've got Jackson Hole Summit today and over the weekend. We've got the Fed chair speech from Powell as well, which is a significant event. And looking over the horizon a bit, Monday the 30th, we've got China manufacturing PMIs, and Tuesday the 31st we've got Euro CPI. So we've got next week we've got like inflation data, tier 1 inflation data dominating in the first day or so of trading. Excuse me, and we've got this Jackson Hole Summit, so they'll obviously be aware of all the inflation data, so that will sort of tie in. Right, so we'll have a look at the stop it there, and then we'll look at the asset classes and then do the final analysis. Right, we're back again. We've written up the asset classes. So US dollar index basically was chunking up. It broke the double top. It's come back at the previous resistance highs, and it's 0.17 from the high, so it's 17% from the modeled high. So it's strong, but it's come back about 17%. Gold is about half marks, but generally weak. So that's where we are with gold. Oil, that big pump up, came right back. It's now 0.45 from the floor, so just below half marks, still relatively soft. Wall Street been chunking up through the highs. It came off a fair bit. It's now back up to 0.17 from the high, so it's 17% from the modelled high. S&P Basically similar story, but it's near the top, and the tech is near the top as well. So they're within less than 10% of their model highs, probably about 6 or 7%. They've come off a little bit. Where are we? US 10-year. This is the price. Price has been charging up. Bonds yields have been coming off. Then we had that rise in yields, fall in price. And then it's been chopping, and it's now 0.45 from the high. And we've got a slight fall in price, so we've got a strengthening up in yields a little bit. And the bund has been softer in terms of the yields, but it's actually starting to catch up now, 0.28 from the high. So relatively speaking, the European bonds are stiffening up in yield terms ahead of the US, despite them being a relative lag between the two. Interesting for the euro dollar, etc. So copper, big chop, big break, whack right down. It's now 0.45 from the floor, so it's still soft, it's below half marks. And US steel, infrastructure, etc. So it finally broke the high, but it's come back. It's 0.4 from the high, so it's 40% come off from the high. So that's where we are there. Right, so basically, having looked at the asset classes, if you look at the flows, so we've got intra-week flows, which is from Monday to about 15 minutes ago. We've got yen weakness driving, pound strength, euro strength, and dollar weakness. And the Asian session is showing yen strength, pound weakness, bit of dollar weakness, and euro is sort of neutral rock. So if you look at this in terms of the majors, the euro, the dollar, the yen, and the pound, we've got this situation. We've got the Jackson Hole summit, or whatever you want to call it. We've got this the bund yields are starting to stiffen up relatively quicker than the US 10-year. Equities are starting to look near top, so we've got the equity transmission there. Right, so the dollar's about 17%. 17% from the high, so it's about minus 17% from the high. So, and we've got inflation data coming out next week. So basically, obviously, we're trying to predict what Powell's going to say and the tone. But if you look at the flows, is the key takeaway is that the euro is starting to stiffen up, and so the euro is of interest, and the bond yields in the bund are starting to signify with the flows that the euro is going to start moving away from its sort of backdoor flow issue and maybe start driving. So that's going to be the key thing. We're going to need to see how things pan out in terms of the Jackson Hole summit and all the rest of it. But it looks like euro is starting to think about getting stronger, and the euro AUD is of particular interest. So long euro AUD is worth keeping an eye on in that basis. We've just had soft retail sales for the AUD, and generally that looks to be somewhere to have a look at generally. Long euro AUD as we go through, but it's going to be pretty wild. So hope that was useful. See you over the weekend for the data cycle review and the flow cycle review. Thank you for watching.